Can you see my screen? Everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So I think in the previous class, right? In the previous class, suggest we have written one good example, right? So we have taken 4 or 5 classes in different packages, okay? And we are axing one class into another class. Am I right? And after that, even we are seeing, okay, so we are learning, yeah, we learn so how the class level access, okay, modifiers and member level modifiers, okay, how can we access member level modifier from one class to another class, am I right? And packages, if you create one class in one package, okay, how can we access that class into another package under another class, okay? So like that we see a lot of things, even import statement also we saw, right? So what is implicit import statement, what is explicit import statement, how those will work, right? Even for each loop also we saw, right? I mean that example I'm saying guys, right? Yeah. I think even Java bean also we learn, right? So now we will go for next topic, guys. Okay, this is very important. Okay, what it is, guys? Constructor. Okay, so almost we are entering into OOPS concept, guys. Object-oriented programming. Okay, OOPS concept we have, right? So
Yes, yes.
yeah, we are entering into OOPS concept. So as part of that, first we will learn constructor. Okay, once we learn constructor, then we will see what are the OOPS concepts we have. Okay, data hiding, abstraction, encapsulation. Okay, what do you call inheritance, right? Polymorphism, like that we have, right? So we will see each topic one by one. Okay, first once we completed this constructor, then we will go each and everything. Okay, so as part of inheritance concept, we will learn is a relationship, as a relationship, okay, parent-child relation, right? So how to create parent class, child class, okay? As part of that, we will learn what is abstract class, what is interfaces, okay? Everything we will see, right? So definitely, okay, those concepts will be good, guys, okay? We will see good content over there. Fine. Now, we will see what is the constructor. Okay. Now, here I'm taking one example. I'm writing one class, guys. Okay, see here, class, class student. I'm writing. Fine. The class student. Let's suppose I have int roll number. Okay, int roll number, and I have string name, right? String name. So every student should have roll number and name, right? Am I right or not? Okay, or else string codes also. Okay, fine. We can take 2 as of now. Okay, so let's suppose we have a class. In the class, what we have, guys? Roll number and string name. Which class it is? Student class, right? So every student, definitely roll number will be different and name also will be different. Am I right or not? Okay, so now for that we have public static void main method. Understand? Public static void main method. So in this, what we have string. Come on, guys, please respond. String args. Already you know, right? These things. String args. Okay. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm trying to, okay, so create object of the student class. Okay. I'm trying to create object of this student class. Okay. Now tell me, how can we do that? Student. Tell me. Student, right? Tell me, guys. Student Vignesh. Student Vignesh is equal to new student, right?
Yeah.
I'm creating object of the student. Okay. So now, if you create object of the student, what will happen, guys? what will happen?
Object one
Object
object
is
is created.
created, right? One object is created, right?
Yes.
So here, what is the reference variable of this object? Vignesh, right? So Vignesh is reference variable pointing to this object, right? Here, if you see roll number and the name, what are these guys? Instance variable, right? So instance variable. So what is instance variable? A separate copy of instance variable will be created for each and every object. So that's what we learned, right? Remember the instance variable, static variable, and local variable, right? We discussed it, right? I think almost we spent 3 hours or 4 hours on that. A separate copy of instance variable will be created for each and every object. Am I right? Right. For each and every object, a separate copy of instance variable will be created. Now, instance variables means what, guys? Object level variables, right? So now here, tell me what is the instance variable here?
Roll number and name.
Okay, roll number. Now, so did you assign any value to this roll number?
No.
No. So if you are not assigning any value to this roll number, so what is the default value? Who will assign the default value?
0 and
0. Who will assign the 0 default value to this roll number? JVM will assign, right? So what is the roll number now? 0.
0.
Right. So now name. What is the name here?
Null.
Did you assign any value here?
No.
We did not assign. Am I right? So if you are not assign any value, then what is the default value, guys? Huh? Come on, tell me. What is the default value?
Null.
Null.
Null, right? Null. So already you know, right? Why you guys are keep calm? Please speak loud, guys. String is what? Instance type, right? Object type. For object type, what is the default value? Null. So here roll number is what type? Int. So what is the default value for int type? 0. Right? Already we discussed, guys. Okay, fine. Now, so this is one object. Fine. Here see, what is the Vignesh roll number? 0. What is the name of this Vignesh object? Null. Okay. So like that, I created one more object. Student. Okay. Now, Triveni is equal to new student. Okay. So now, see, now also what will happen, guys?
Another one.
After executing this line, what will happen? One more object is created. This is very, very important, guys. Okay. Please listen carefully. Right. One more object is created. So what is the object, guys, now? Triveni. Okay. What is the reference variable? Triveni. Fine. So now, for Triveni student, what is the roll number now? See, for each and every object, a separate copy of instance variable will be created, right? So that is the instance variable, right? Static variable means what? Only one copy will be created at class level. That copy will be shared with all the objects. That is static variable. Remember, guys, right? Instance variable means what? For each and every object, a separate copy of instance variable will be created, right? Now, tell me here, what is the roll number, guys? Did you assign any roll number here? We did not assign. So what is the default value then? 0, right? Here also name will be what? Null. Understand? So like that, let's suppose we created, okay, 500 students objects. Am I right? Like that, we created what? 500 students object, guys. Now, I'm creating one more object here. Yeah. Fine. So here, like that, what we are doing, right? So like that, we created, okay, 500 students. This is what? Student S500. I'm giving some name, guys. Okay. Now, new student. Okay. So now, for this also, what will happen? One object is created, right? What is the reference variable of this object?
S500.
S500. Come on. S500 reference variable pointing to this object. Come on. Now, here also, if you see, for this one also, a separate copy of instance variable will be created. How many instance variable we have? Only two, roll number and name, right? So instance variable is nothing but what, guys? Object level variables, right? In the object only, instance variable will be created. No, roll number. What is the roll number value here? 0, right? Now name. What is the name, guys, here? Null.
No.
Right. Now, if you see, hey Vignesh, what is your roll number? 0. What is your name? Null. Hey Triveni, what is your roll number? 0. What is your name? Null. So like that, if you ask, if you see any object, okay, for each and every object here, we are having what? Same replica of data. Am I right or not? Same replica of data only we are seeing here. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So because what we are not assigning anything. So always if you see any object, you will get what, guys? So default values only. Okay. So here, do you see any sense here? If we have objects and which are having null values and default values, then what is the use of creating object, guys? Understand? So if you create object means what? Obviously, we are expecting what? As a real data, right? So real data. So then only we can use those objects and we can do, okay, we can do our business related functionality. Okay, we can implement that. Am I right or not? So if you refer Vignesh also, he's saying roll number 0 and name null. If you see Triveni also, if you refer, so his roll number 0 and name null. So what is the meaning of creating objects here? Am I right or not? Do you see any sense here? If you have like this. Hello.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Please respond. Do you see any sense here if you have like this? Right. So here what? We have class structure. By using that class structure, we can create what? Many objects. Right? So Java means what? We are dealing everything with class and object-oriented programming. Right? We are dealing with everything in what? In the form of objects only. Right. So now here we have a structure of class. So by using that structure of class, we are creating objects. But when you create the object, you have that what? A realistic data in that object. Am I right? But now if you see here, do you see any realistic data here? No. Right? If you refer these objects, Vignesh, and if you call name by using this reference variable, instance variable name, if you want to do anything else, what we will end up with, guys? We will end up with null pointer exceptions. Why? Here name is what? Null, right? So if you use this name reference variable, if you try to do any operations on that particular name, what we will get, guys? Null pointer exceptions. Already we discussed it, right? What is null pointer exceptions means? Anyway, we will discuss while discussing exception handling concept, but I think already we discussed, right? What is null pointer exception? Okay. If you use any reference variable, okay, so which is having null value, by using that reference variable, if you do any operations, we are end up with what, guys? Null pointer exception. Am I right or not? So that's what we discussed, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you create n number of objects also like this, so there is no meaning, guys, right? So there is no sense, right? So what we will do, if you create n number of objects also, if you have a class like this, then what we will achieve? We cannot achieve anything, right? So now here, what we have to do, guys, right? So let's suppose now instead of default values, if you assign, okay, if you assign, okay, some value, let's suppose I'm assigning, right? I'm assigning what? Okay, I'm assigning roll number is 101. Okay, here string name is, hmm, string name is, let's suppose Vignesh. Understand? Now, what I did, guys? I
Yeah.
assign hard coded values. Okay, static content. This is what static data. Okay, So this data will not change. This is not a dynamic. What is the dynamic data? Dynamic data will change. Okay, here what? Static data. So we are assigning what? Hard-coded value to this roll number and name. What is the roll number? 101. What is the name? Vignesh. While creating instance variables, okay, so by that time only, I'm assigning values to that instance variable. Now, if you create Vignesh object, this statement, okay, student Vignesh is equal new student. We are creating the student object, right? Vignesh student object, right? So by this time, here what it will be, guys, now? Roll number is what it is? Roll number 101. Right. Roll number will be 101. And here name will be what? Vignesh. Okay. Name will be Vignesh. Am I right? Now in the same way, here also, if you create Triveni object also, roll number will be 101. Right. Name will be what, guys? Vignesh. Okay. So like this, if you create n number of objects, so for each and every object, okay, roll number will be the same and name also will be the same. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Come on. Right. So here also there is no sense. Right? If you assign hard-coded value for each and every object, what will happen? A separate copy will be created. Separate copy of instance variable will be created. Right? For Vignesh object also roll number 101. For Vignesh object also name Vignesh. So for Triveni also 101 name Vignesh. And like that for n number of object, for each and every object, if you see the data, the same data only will be replicating for each and every object. Right? So if you have a class like this, so do you see any sense here? Right?
No, sir.
Right. So by using these objects, we cannot write any business functionality, right? If you refer any object, if you have same data means, so how what we will achieve finally, right? We cannot achieve anything. Am I right or not? Okay. So now, how to solve this one, right? How to solve this issue, right? So we have to assign these values, right? Instance variable values. We have to assign these values to instance variable dynamically. Understand? So while creating object, we have to assign these values to this instance variable dynamically. Object level variables. Okay, instance variable we used to call it as what, guys? Object level variables. Am I right or not? Okay. So now how to do that? So this is the issue. Understand? This is the problem. Okay. Now how to solve this issue? So for that, okay, we have what, guys? Java bean, right? We discussed it, right? Java bean. Come on. We discussed it, right? Class student. Okay. For this student, what we have now? Int roll number, right? Int roll number, string name. These are the variables, right? We have. So now for this, what is the Java bean means, right? Java bean is a simple normal Java class which contains private private member variables, public setter and getter methods, right? So that's what, right, we discussed. Tell me, what is the setter method for this one? Public, tell me, public void, public void, tell me, guys, set roll number, right? Set roll number. So what is the argument type here? Int roll number, right? So here, this dot roll number is equal to roll number, right? So that's what we discussed, right? Now, if you have a setter method means what? Automatically we have getter method also. Public, what is the return type here? Int. Okay, here now get roll number. Get the roll number, right? Here what we are returning? Roll number. Fine. Now we should have another setter method for another member variable. Public void. What, guys? Set name, set name, right? What is the argument type here? String name. Now, this dot name equals to name. Fine. Same way, we should have what getter method. Public string. Tell me. Getter name. Tell me, you know, right? You discussed or not? Java bean. Then why you are keeping calm? Written what? Name. This is what, guys? Java bean. Right? This is what? Java bean. So now, what I am doing now? I have public static method. Okay? Public static void main method and string args. Okay? So here, now from there the execution will start. The main method, right? Now here what I'm doing, I'm creating object of some same student class, right? Now tell me student, okay, Vignesh is equal to new student. Am I right? New student. Fine. So now here, what will happen? One student object is created. Huh? One student object is created. Right? One student object is created. Now, Vignesh. Okay? Pointing to this object. Fine? Now, okay. Now, no, fine. So, yeah. Now, here what? We have roll number and name. Right? So, what we need to do? We need to assign the values, okay, for roll number and name. This is what? Instance variable. For each and every object, separate copy of instance variable will be created, right?
Yes.
Right? So here, see, what is the default values now?
Zero null.
What is the default values? Here, roll number 0, right? Now, what is the name? Name will be. So that's what we created, right? Am I right or not? Right. So here what? By using new operator, we are creating one object, guys. Right? So when you create an object, so automatically a separate copy of instance variable will be created. And if you are not assigning any values, JVM will assign default values. Right? How many member variables we have? Only 2 member variables we have. One is roll number, another one is name. So that's what for roll number 0 will be assigned by JVM. For name, null value will be assigned to null value will be assigned by JVM. Clear? So now, okay. So now, so this is what, again, we are end up with what? Same issue, right? So now, what we have to do? We have to set the data dynamically. Understand? We have to set the data dynamically for this object. Okay. So now, this is what? Vignesh object. What is the reference variable here? Vignesh. Now, by using this Vignesh reference variable, okay, by using this Vignesh reference variable, tell me, Vignesh dot set roll number. I'm calling. Again, having same issue. Yeah. Fine. So now, tell me, Vignesh dot set
roll number.
Roll number. So here what? I'm setting roll number 101. This is what? Argument value. Right. Here see set roll number method. This is the set roll number method. So what is the argument type here? Int. Right. So in order to call this method means we have to pass argument value, right? It is expecting one argument. What it is type? Int. So that's what here I'm passing what? Argument value. What type? Int. Because what is the argument type over there? Int. Okay. Now after that, Vignesh dot tell me set a name. Right? Set name. Here what I'm setting? Vignesh. Understand? Okay. Now, after completion of these 2 lines, what will happen in this object?
Last
What will happen in this object? If you see the setter method, set roll number method. Now this roll number what? Right here, this roll number 101, right? Now it will become 101. We are setting right. Here we are setting right 101. Now this roll number is what? 101.
Not one.
Here this dot roll number is equal to roll number. Okay. This dot roll number. This dot roll number means what, guys? This one. Roll number and name. These are what? Object level variables, right? So this dot roll number means what? Current object. Okay. Current object roll number. Understand? This dot roll number means what? Current object roll number. Okay. Understand? Current object related instance variable. Roll number means what? Variable right here. Instance variable, right? This is what? Object level variable. So this dot roll number means what? This roll number. Current object roll number. Here see this roll number is what? Local variable. This roll number is what? Instance variable. Understand? Now this local variable, which value it is having? 101.
Not one.
Now we are assigning this 101 to whom? This dot roll number. Means what will happen here? Tell me.
Roll
Now
number
0 will become what?
101.
0 will become what, guys? 101. Clear? In the same way, here we are having what? Name. So here what we are sending? Vignesh. Set name. Here we are calling, right? Set name. What is the value we are passing here? Vignesh. What is the argument type here? String. So that's what here what string value we are passing while calling this method. Am I right? So now this dot name is equal to name. Now this name will become what? Vignesh. Now this Vignesh, this name we are assigning to whom? This dot name. This dot name means what? Current object name. Right? Current
Yes,
object. Vignesh is the current object, right? This is the current object. Right? See, we are calling setter methods on which object? Vignesh object. Am I right? What is the current object? This is the current object. Okay. Now here what? Name will become? Tell me. Name will become what?
Vignesh.
Clear? Name will become what, guys? Vignesh. Am I right? Now if you see for this Vignesh object, okay, there is a real content data. Roll number is 101. Name is Vignesh. Right? So this is what? Real object. Am I right? Which is having, okay, real content. Okay. Now, like this, I'm creating what, guys? I'm creating one more student object. Student, okay, Triveni now. New student. Okay, new student. Now what will happen after executing of this line? One more object is created. Okay, a separate copy of instance variable will be created. Am I right? A separate copy of instance variable will be created. Now tell me, what are those, guys? Roll number 0, and here what? Name
equal to none.
null. For each and every object, a separate copy of instance variable will be created or not? Am I right?
Right.
So now, no, this is student called Triveni. Fine. Guys, I'm getting some messages. Fine. Now, right? Triveni, roll number 0 and name null. Here what? Now, if you're not assigning any value, means what will happen? JVM will assign default value, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you see here, student Triveni is equal new student. Here, when you use new operator, by using this new operator, okay, this new operator will create one object, guys. Okay. So one object is created. See here, there is a new operator, right? How can we create? By using new operator, we can create object, right? So when you create object, a separate copy of instance variable will be created automatically in the object level, right? Because instance variable is what? Object level variables. If you are not assigning any values, means JVM will assign default value. Now, after that, what we are doing, we need to assign dynamic values, right? Right, we need to assign dynamic value. Then how to assign? Tell me.
Triveni dot.
By using this Triveni object, I'm calling what? Setter
Roll
Roll
number.
Roll number.
Here I'm assigning what? 102. Okay. And after Triveni dot
Set name.
set name. Here I'm assigning Triveni. Understand? Now what will happen? This object will be replaced with what, guys?
102.
102 and Triveni.
3.
102 and Triveni. Right? Now if you see the data, right? So now Vignesh object having, okay, Vignesh related student data, Triveni student object having, sorry, Triveni student related data. Am I right or not? So like that,
Yes.
if you create n number of objects for all the objects, okay, what will happen? A separate copy will be created, right? So like that, I'm creating one more object called next 500 objects, right? S500,
500.
which equal to new student of, okay, 500. Now, S500 dot set roll number. Here, what I'm giving 501. Okay, ID guys, roll number ID. Now here S500 dot set name. Okay, set name. I'm giving what? S500. The student name is S500. Okay. Now what will happen? One more object is created the same way, right? One more object is created, and here the roll number will be
501.
roll number will be 501. Fine. Next name will be S500.
500.
Right? Now, S500 reference variable pointing to this object. Am I right or not?
Right.
Now, if you see, for each and every object, we are having what? A separate data, a realistic data. So, Vignesh student, okay, contains Vignesh related information, Vignesh student related information. Triveni student object contains what? Her information, right? Like that, as 500 student contains what? His information. Now, see this one. Now, this is what? Realistic data. Now, we can use these objects, okay, to perform any business operations. If you want, you can store these objects, this data into database tables. If you want, you can use this data to write some other logics, right? To write some other business logics. Am I right or not?
Yes,
Come
sir.
on, guys, right?
Yes.
By using this one also, we can write what? We can set dynamic data to the object variables. I mean the instance variable. Am I right or not? So now here, so what is the problem here? If you go with like this, here what? We are initializing the data, right?
Sorry, test.
Initializing, here by using this approach also, right? We are initializing, right? Object initialization here. Object initialization means what? When you create an object, by that time, all the instance variable, what we have in that object, we are assigning the realistic values. That is what object initialization, right? But here, what is the problem, guys? If you go with this approach, what is the problem if you go with this approach? See, now,
Sorry, test.
okay, for this class, how many member variables we have? 2 member variables we have. For these 2 member variables, I'm writing what? 2 setter methods, 2 getter methods, right? 4 methods I have written. And after that, after creating object, each and every time by using this object reference, I'm calling those setter methods. Here, 2 member variables we have, 2 times I calling set roll number and set name, and I'm setting, right? In the same way, if you see, the student class can contain 1000 member variables. Let's assume the student class contain 1000 member variables. Understand? 1000 instance variable. So by that time, what we have to do, right? What we have to do, guys?
Every time
1000 setter methods, 1000 getter methods you have to write. Am I right or not? Right? 1000 setter methods you have to write, 1000 getter methods you have to write. And after that, after creating object of that particular student, in order to assign dynamic values to this instance variable, okay, 1000 setter methods you have to call manually, like Vignesh set roll number, Vignesh set name, Vignesh set course, Vignesh set address, Vignesh dot set mobile number. Okay, so like that, if you have any, like that, if you have 1000 member variables, 1000 times you have to call what, guys? These setter methods. Am I right or not? Okay. For each and every object, how many times you have to call? 1000 times you have to call. Clear? Come on, guys. Open your mouth.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 1000 times you have to call. Right. So definitely it is a creating problem or not?
Problem.
Let's suppose if you
Order.
create 500 objects, 500 students means, see how many times you have to write 500 into 1000 setter methods. Means what? 5 lakhs, huh? I don't know, something. Okay. So that many number of setter methods you have to call explicitly to set the data dynamically. Right? Definitely it will create problem or not, guys? Come on.
Problem. Yeah, problem.
Definitely code length will be improved. Right? Readability of the code also will be improved, and maintainability of the code also will be decreased. So maintenance means after creating class, after some time, you need to modify the set roll number. Instead of set ROLNO, you need to put NUMBR. So that time what we have to do, where our student class is available, we have to go and we have to see where the setter methods and all getter methods are there. Again, you have to modify that setter and getter method. And again, you have to see where we are calling this set method. There also you have to modify. Am I right or not? So that is what, guys? Maintenance. Right? So here, maintainability of the code also will be decreased. Readability of the code also will be decreased. So length of the code also will be increased. Am I right or not? Unnecessarily we are writing, okay, more lines of code here. Okay, and one more thing. Let's suppose somehow you created object, right? You created student Vignesh, new student. After that, somehow you forgot to call the set methods. Am I right? Somehow you forgot to call the setter methods, guys. Set roll number, set name we have, right? Somehow you forgot to call these setter methods. So that time what will happen? The Vignesh object doesn't have realistic data. What it has? Only default data. If you have default data means we cannot perform anything by using that object. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Everyone, come on, guys.
Yes.
Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So we cannot do anything. Right? So there is a chance of forgetting calling the setter methods, right?
Yes.
Right. Let's suppose if you have 1000 members, so 1000 setter methods you have to call. Definitely there is a chance. Okay. Definitely there is a chance to forget one of the setter methods, guys, to calling one of the setter method. So that time what? That object is what? Incomplete object. Right? Because what? That object doesn't contain fully realistic data. If you use that object, you may end up with what? You may end up with what?
Null point exception.
Some errors or some false output, right? So like that you may get. Because what? The data, that object doesn't contain proper data. Am I right or not? Okay. So all these are what, guys? Definitely problems. If you go with Java bean by calling setter methods, if you set the data dynamically. Clear? Everyone.
Yeah.
So now to solve that issue, okay, to solve that issue, we have a beautiful concept called constructor. Understand? Right? Beautiful concept called constructor. Okay. So now, so we will discuss what is constructor. Understand what is the problem now? Right? So as of now, we learn up to here. right? As of now, we learn up to here, guys, right? Now, next level we have to see. Now, constructor. Okay, no constructor. No, see. Now, I'm taking same class, guys. Here, I'm taking same class. Tell me, class, student, right? Class student. Tell me, enter roll number. What is next one? String name, right? String name. Here, I want to assign the values to these member variables, these instance variable dynamically. Understand? When, okay, while creating object of the student class. Understand? So that time only I want to assign what? Values to this member variable. But here, this time, I don't want to use any setter methods. Understand? So now, what is the way? Right. So here, we are creating constructor. Okay. No. Here, this is the constructor, guys. Student. Don't worry, we'll explain everything. Okay. So student here, this dot. Okay. Student constructor. So the student constructor expecting two arguments types. One is int roll number, comma, string name. Understand? String name. Now here, this dot roll number equals to this roll number. Okay. Next, tell me, this dot name equals to name. Okay. Now, constructor is closed. Am I right? Now, here what I'm doing? Here what I'm doing? Public static void main string args. String args. Okay. Now here I'm creating what? Object of student class. Okay. See, this is what, guys, constructor. Okay. Let me create first. I will explain, guys. Don't worry. Each and every line I will explain. Student. Now, who is that, guys? Vignesh. Vignesh is equal to new student. Okay. See here, new student, right? See here. Here, I'm calling what, guys? Constructor. While creating object itself, I'm trying to call what? This constructor. This constructor. Okay. See here, student. So here, what is the argument types it is expecting? Roll number and name. So I have to pass those values. Roll number 101, comma, Vignesh. Name is what? Vignesh. Understand? Everyone. Now, see. This is what, guys? Constructor. This is what? Constructor. This is what, guys? Constructor. Now, let's see. The syntax of constructor. Okay. Always the constructor name should match with class name, guys. Understand? Always the constructor name should match with class name. That is the syntax of constructor. Okay. So now let me write here the syntax of constructor. Let me write below. Let me give some space. Here I'm writing. Okay. Constructor syntax. Sorry, what happened?
Minimize.
Hmm? Fine. Yeah. Syntax of constructor. Okay. Syntax of constructor. See here, class name. Understand? Class name and open parentheses. Here, open bracket, right, and closure bracket. So this is the what, guys? Constructor syntax, guys. Understand? Class name and open parentheses and closure parentheses and open bracket and closed bracket, curly brackets. Okay. So this is the what? Syntax of class name. So now in this time here, so in the above example, so what is the how do we create constructor? What is the class name here? Student, right? Student, right? Open parentheses and closure parentheses. This is what, guys? Constructor. Understand? This is what? Constructor. We will see. Remaining things also we will see. Just as of now, remember what is the syntax of constructor means. The class name should match, guys. Constructor name and the class name should match. Right? While creating constructor, the class name and constructor name should match. Clear? Everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the syntax of constructor. Now we will go for our example. Now, here see, I created a constructor. So here see, student. This is what? Class name. Class name and constructor name should match, right? So that's why I created what? Student. Open parentheses. This is what, guys? Parameterized constructor. This is what? Parameterized constructor. Understand? So here this constructor expecting two argument. Okay. So which arguments? Int roll number and string name. Right? Am I right or not? Okay. So now, in order to call this constructor means what we have to pass? We have to pass this roll number value and string name value. Argument values we have to pass. Understand? Everyone. So now, in this constructor, what we are doing? This dot roll number is equal to roll number. This dot name is equal to name. We are initializing the object. What we are doing inside the constructor? We are initializing the object. Initializing the object means what? Assigning values to member variables. Am I right or not? Come on, guys.
Yes.
See here, by calling setter methods here, in the set name method, what we are doing? Where is it? Set roll number. This dot roll number is equal to roll number. What we are doing here? We are initializing value to member variable. Right? So that is called what? Object initialization. Object initialization means what? While creating object, we are initializing the object. We are initializing the object means what? We are assigning realistic data to that object variables. Here object variables means what? Instance variable. Clear? Come on, guys, please respond. If you respond, then only I can go further.
Yes.
If you're not responding means what I can do? I'm thinking you are still not understanding. That's what I'm thinking. If you're not responding means please respond, guys. Okay. Now here, now in this constructor, I have taken one constructor into roll number and string name. These two argument based constructor I have created. Understand? See here, constructor name and class name should match. Right? What is the syntax of constructor? Class name and constructor name should match. And here open parentheses and closed parentheses. Now this constructor is taking two argument types. One is int type, another one is string type. Okay. So inside this constructor, what I am doing? Initializing the object. Okay. What I'm doing, guys? Initializing the object. Am I right or not? Initialization I am doing. Okay. So I'm assigning a realistic dynamic values to this member variables. Means what? Instance variables. Clear? Now, if you see here, student Vignesh is equal to new student. Okay. So most of the people are saying, okay, while creating constructor. So by using constructor, we will create object like that people are talking like. Okay. Here, okay, there is no meaning of there is no relationship between creating object and calling constructor. Sorry. What people are saying, you know. So by using constructor only, we are creating object like that people are thinking. Okay. Okay. That's completely wrong, guys. Okay. See, now we will discuss. We will see. Okay. Don't worry. Now we see the first statement. What is the first statement? Student Vignesh is equal to new student. Right. So guys, here we not capital letter. It is small letter. Okay. Fine. Student Vignesh is equal to new student 101 Vignesh. See here what I'm doing here. Student. Okay. See here what? Student of. Student of means what? I'm calling constructor. I'm calling constructor. Am I right or not? Right? We are calling constructor. Right? How can you call method, guys? How can you call method? Here set roll number I'm calling. What is the method here? Set roll number. What is the argument type? Int roll number. How can you call this method? By using object reference variable. What? Set roll number. Now this is int type. You have to pass what? Argument, int argument value. Right? Like that, we are calling Ignish dot set roll number 101. Right? In the same way, this is what? Calling method. In the same way, for constructor also how to call? Okay, this is the constructor, right? This is the constructor. See here, while creating object, I'm calling what, guys? Constructor here. See this one, this line. Okay, can you see this line? This is what?
Yes.
New
Yes.
student of
No,
101 Vignesh. Here what we are doing? We are calling constructor. Okay, which constructor? This constructor. Am I right? Now, this 101 where, see, while executing this line, right, by using new operator, we are creating object, right? So, when the new operator is encountered while executing this line, then JVM automatically will create one object. Understand? So, by seeing this new operator, JVM will understood, oh, I think this guy is asking me to create object. Okay, let me create one object. So, I created one object. What is the reference variable here? Vignesh. What is the reference variable here? Vignesh. Right? This object, what is the reference variable? Vignesh. Right? So now, when we create object, what JVM will know? A separate copy of instance variable will be created. Right? Just now we discussed. Come on, guys. Roll number. Right? What is the roll number? What is the default value? We are not assigning any value, right? Explicit value, we did not assign any hard code value. If you are not assigning any value, what JVM will assign? Default value. Right? Now, name is what, guys, here? Null. Am I right? Roll number is 0, name is null. Come on. Now, see, by executing, by seeing this new operator, JVM will create this object, and roll number and name will be copied. A separate copy will be created for each and every object, and the default value will be assigned to whom? JVM. Clear? Now, see here. Now, after that, after creating object, after that, what we are calling? JVM is automatically calling this constructor. Understand? JVM automatically calling what? Constructor. See here, by using new operator, JVM will create what? Object. And after that here, by seeing this line, JVM will automatically call what? Constructor. Okay, so here now see, we have constructor, right? Now, this here, roll number will become what, guys, here? 101. The value will be replaced, right? argument value. Here, what is the argument value for name? Vignesh. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Okay. Now, on top of this object, now constructor is performing. Okay. First of all, object is created, guys. Okay. Due to this constructor, object is not created, guys. Okay. First, due to this new operator, object is created. On top of that object, constructor is performing initialization. Understand? So due to this constructor here, object is not creating. So most of the institutes, most of the people are saying, okay, due to this constructor, object is creating. That is blunder mistake, guys. Understand? Due to this new operator, object is created by JVM. On top of this object, okay, constructor will perform initialization. Understand?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now 101 Vignesh we have. After that, what constructor is doing now? Now, constructor will comes into the picture. Now, in the constructor, what we are having, which logic we have added is initialization logic. So, this dot roll number is equal to roll number. This means what? Current class object. What is the current class object? Vignesh object, right? Vignesh object only we created, right?
Yes.
Current class object, this means what? This all automatically points to this object, Vignesh object. Now, this dot roll number is equal to roll number. Now we are assigning this 101 to whom? This object, okay? This reference variable, this instance variable. Tell me, what is the value now?
101.
Now, 101, okay? Here, Vignesh. Am I right or not? Understand? Everyone. Okay. Now see, come on guys. Understand? See now, on top of this object, constructor will perform what, guys? Initialization. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Due to this constructor, object is not created, guys, here. Due to this new operator, object is created and JVM will copy. Okay. So JVM will, for each and every object we have what? Separate copy of instance variable. The separate copy of instance variable will be created here. And if you're not assigning any values here, right? So that's why JVM will assign default values. So on top of that object, okay, constructor is performing what, guys? Initialization. Okay, this is very, 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 very important. Clear? See now, Vignesh object is ready. Now Vignesh object is containing what, guys? Realistic data. Understand? Realistic data. Vignesh object is containing what? Realistic data or not?
Yes.
So by using this object, we can do what are the things you want, right? By using this object, you can write any business functionality related logic. If you want, you can store this record into database. Am I right or not?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So now see here, like this, I want to create one more object, right?
Student.
I want to create one more object. Now, student Triveni equals to new student. Am I right? Now, I'm
102.
assigning what? 102, right? I'm calling the constructor, right? What it is expecting? Two argument types it is expecting. One is int type, another one is string type. So first one, int value I'm assigning. Another one is string value I have to assign. What is the student name here? Triveni. Am I right? Now, after executing this line, what will happen? By seeing this new operator, okay, JVM will create what? One more object. Understand, guys? One more object is created. Now here, tell me, a separate copy of instance variable will be created. Here, what is the value? Default value 0. Here, name will become what? Null. Am I right? So now, here what? Triveni. Triveni is the reference variable pointing to this object. Fine. Now, again, here 102 Triveni. After creating object new operator, what we are doing here? We are calling constructor. Okay, who will create this object, guys? JVM will create this object by seeing new operator. After that, JVM automatically call what, guys? This constructor, right? This constructor automatically who will call? JVM.
Yeah.
Now here, student 102 we are passing, right? We are passing what? 102.
102.
So what is the value now? Roll number will become
102. 102.
right? Here, name Vignesh will become what? Triveni. Triveni, right? Now, this dot roll number is equal to roll number. This dot name is equal to name. Here, roll number is 102. Name is Triveni. Here, this means what? Which object? Now,
Object.
Triveni object, right? This means what? Now, this means current object. What is the current object here? Triveni. Here, see, what is the current object, guys? Triveni, right? We are creating Triveni object now. Am I right or not?
Yes, Santosh.
Okay. Now, Triveni for this current of this means what? Triveni object now. While executing this line, guys, I am talking. While executing this line only, right? This constructor also executing. Am I right or not?
Yes.
From here only we are calling this one. Now this will become what? Triveni object. Here current object. This means current object. Now what is the current object here? Triveni object is the current object. Am I right? Now here tell me roll number
102.
102. Okay. Here name will become what, guys? Triveni. Understand? Everyone. Now Triveni object also ready. See here, we are setting dynamic values, right? While creating object itself, we are initializing object data. We are initializing object data. Am I right or not? We are performing initialization of an object also while creating object, right?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. In the same way, right? In the same way, if you want, we can create what, guys? N number of objects, right? Let's suppose, finally, I will create what, guys? One more student, STUDENT, student S500. S500 is equal to new student. Okay. Here also, I'm passing what? 501 is the argument value, roll number. And here, name is what? S500. This is the student name, guys. Fine. Now, after executing this line also, what will happen? An object is created the same way, guys. Okay. By seeing this new operator, JVM will create one object and a separate copy of instance variable will be created for this. Okay. Object roll number is equal to 0. And after that, name is equal to null. Am I right? So now here what? S500 is pointing to this object. Right? Now, after executing this construct, creating object, JVM will automatically call whom? This constructor. Right? JVM automatically call whom? This constructor. Am I right or not? Now here, roll number will become what, guys? Roll number will become what? Tell me. Why not? 1. Array. Come on, guys. Can you hear me? Roll number will become what, guys, now? 501. While executing this line, we are passing 501, right? Here. We are calling constructor, guys. Here in roll number what? We are assigning 501. Right? Here name means what?
Yes, 500.
S500. Come on, guys, please respond. Okay, S500. Now, this dot roll number is equal to roll number. This dot name is equal to name. Now, we are assigning 501 roll number to whom? This dot roll number. So here, this means what? Current class object. What is the current object here? S500 is the current object. Okay. Now here, for this reference variable. Now tell me, what is the value here, roll number? 501. Okay. Here name will become what, guys? S500. Clear? So like this, we can create what, guys? How many objects you want? We can create n number of objects. Clear, everyone? See here what? Dynamically we are creating object. Am I right or not? See, we are solving the problem, right? What is the problem we are facing with setter methods? Okay, we are solving that problem or not?
Yes.
Come on, guys. Are we
Yes.
solving the problem?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Here we no need to write any setter methods, right? We no need to write lengthy code. Simply, if you call constructor, automatically constructor will initialize the object. Okay, who will take care here? Initialization of an object, constructor is will take care. Okay, we have to write that logic under constructor. Am I right or not? Come on, guys, tell me.
Yes.
Yeah, see here, we no need to write any setter methods, anything. While creating objects itself, what? Okay, now we have to pass the argument value. Let's suppose here there is no chance of, okay, forgetting calling this student method constructor, guys, right? Automatic who will call? JVM will call. So let's suppose 101, how many parameters it is expecting, or how many argument types here? 2 argument types. While calling this constructor, if you pass only 1 argument, you will get compile time error. Understand?
Yes.
Right or not? So
Correct.
here there is no chance of failing object creation.
Sir, one doubt.
Tell me.
While creating, I don't have data. That time, what can I do?
Who is that?
Vani.
Oh, Vani. You are new to this one, huh? Tell me, Amma,
Yes,
what
sir.
you are saying while creating?
While creating this class, I don't have the values. Data I don't have.
You don't have data,
Then how to, if I want to give data dynamically, while using that one only, I will give that, I can able to give that data. Then how to use?
I'm not understanding your what you're asking. See here, class, right? This is the class.
Yes, sir.
So now, after creating class means what? Why we are creating class structure? By using that class structure, we can create objects. Okay, now n number of objects we can create. Right? So that's what we discussed. I think you are joining newly, right? You may
Yes, sir.
not aware of all these things. Okay, already we completed what is class and object. Okay. So now, okay, fine. So here what? Class student. Okay, roll number and string name we have. These are the 2 properties. Now, I want to use this class functionality. How can we use? By creating object of this class, then only we can use this class functionality. Right? Here class is what? Virtual. We cannot touch it. Right? So here what? In order to work with this class means what? We have to create object of this class. By using that object only we can work. Understand? Because student is what? Class. We cannot directly work. Your object is what? Real. Student is what? Virtual. Sorry. Class is what? Virtual. Object is what? Real. So that's what we learned. Okay, please go and refer. I think already I created one YouTube channel, right? I uploaded all the initial days classes, guys. Okay, please go and watch. Right? Now here, now I want to use this functionality of the class. What I have to do? I have to create the object of this class. Right? Now, while creating object of this class, you have to pass the roll number. Right? You have to pass the roll number. So roll number means what? 101 or something. Let's suppose you are saying, I don't know what is the roll number, what is the name, right? Of course, we have to know. You are creating one object, one development, one application means what? What student class can contain, you should know, right? What is the data? That is what data mapping, guys. Understand? That is the word data mapping. See, before developing an application, there is a lot of process, guys, in industry. Okay, there is a functional design document, there is a use cases, there is a architecture, everything will be there. Understand? So architecture means what? So what are the technologies we are going to use? What are the front-end technologies we are using? Okay, what are the back-end technologies we are using? Which database we are using? Understand? So the basic infrastructure at architect level. Okay, architecture contains what? At architect level, there is a design, guys. And after that, we have what? Functional design document. So functional design document means what? Let's suppose we have a student page. In the student page, what I have to see in the institute, there is a institute application we are developing. In the institute, once you log in into the application, okay, we have to see the one page. In that page, we have to see all the students' records. Understand? Okay. Now, there is a functional design document. See, after login, though this page I have to display. Right? Now, behind this page, what are the technical challenges we have? Right? This is what functionality. Am I right or not? This is what functionality. We need to display what? All the students' records. Okay. When you log in into application, we have to see the what is the first page here, landing page. We have to see all the students' records. Right? Now, here each student record means what? Definitely student ID will be there, student name will be there, student address will be there, student course will be there, student mobile number will be there, and fees will be there, how much he paid and how much he left, everything. Okay. So these are what? Student related information we can see. Am I right or not? So now behind this, what guys? Java means everything we are going to dealing with what? Class and object, right? So now student record means what? We have to create what? One class. So that's what I think initial day I asked you guys. Okay, please go and analysis different what do you call applications. I mean, what do you call hospital related application. If you see the hospital management system, okay, how many classes we can create, right? So like that I asked you. Remember, that is what guys, analysis. Okay, functionality analysis. That is what designing document. Okay, in functional design document, now class. Class is what? See, these many fields I have. Class, sorry, student. Now student record can contain roll number, name, address, okay, and mobile number. Who will tell this information? BA, business analyst. Understand? Hey boss, this is my student record. This is the information I want. Okay, this is the information I want to create. I want to store in the database. Am I right or not? Who will decide how many how many fields we required in student class? Who will decide? Developer will not decide. Understand? Product owner, business analyst, these guys will sit top of developers guys. Okay, these guys will connect with the client. Okay, these guys will connect with client and they will get it the functionality related information. What we need to develop, who has to tell? Business analyst and product owner will tell guys. Okay, and high level, they will create one functional design document. Architects, okay, all these guys sit together and they will create functional design document. Solution architects, tech leads, understand? And finally, once the design document is completed, and after that, they will share that design document with you guys. Okay. Now, by using this design document, we have to create use case document. Okay. Use case document. Use case document means what? Each functionality, there is a document, use case document. Let's suppose add student. So that is the functionality. For that functionality, there is a use case document. In that use case document, we will write add student. Add student is what? So once you log in into the application, you will see all the students information and there is a add student button. If you click that add student button, one more page will open. In that page, okay, you have to fill student related information like student ID, text boxes, student name, address, okay, and student mobile number, like this. Understand? So that is what guys, one functionality. For that functionality, there is a separate use case document. Understand? So in that use case document, everything we will write clearly, guys. Okay. So this is the page we have to see, and even that static page also we will place over there in the document. Okay. Now student ID, student name, these are the information we require. Understand? Now,
Yes,
by
sir.
seeing the document, what we can say, oh, I think these guys are expecting these many records. Now, developer, by seeing that one, what he will do? He will create a one class, student class. Let's suppose in student class, in that use case document or functional design document, if they mention 10 fields, they will create 10 fields, guys. Okay? 10 member variables, instance variable they will create. Understand?
Yes.
Everyone? Understand? So like
Yes, sir.
in real world, okay, we will do, guys. Okay. So directly we will not write any development. We will not start any development, guys. So before that, a lot of work has to be completed. Okay. And lot of people has to be involved. Understand? So what is it? Application means, okay, so we are going to dealing with e-commerce application, banking application, much more enterprise applications, vast applications. Okay, complex business logic has been involved, guys. Each and everything has to be documented. Okay, so we cannot write your own okay things here. You have to follow it as per business requirement. Okay, in real world. Understand? So they will provide. Okay, roll number, these things. Who will provide, guys? Business people will provide. These are the columns we required. So roll number will be integer. Okay, name will be string. Who will tell all these things? Business functionality will tell. I mean, they will not tell any int and roll string like this. They will tell characters, case. Okay, roll number is numeric value. Like that they will tell. Name will be kind of characters, word. Like that they will tell. So they don't know anything about technology, right? They will not understand anything about int type and string type. Like that they will not understand, right? They cannot understand because they are what? They are not a technical people. Okay. So by seeing that document as a developer, we have to understand. So here roll number. So they're asking what numeric value. In Java, how do we represent numeric value? Which type you have to take? Numeric integer types. Integral types we have, right? So based on rate, based on size, we have to go either int type or long type. I think already we discussed, right? Right or not?
Yes.
Okay, like that we have to go. Okay. So now while creating object of the student class, so here what roll number means what? Numeric value. So you have to pass numeric value 101. Understand? Name means what? Student name. We have to pass what? Any kind of student name. Here what? Vignesh. Am I right? Okay. Vani.
Yes, sir.
Understand? So this is what if you create student record newly. Let's suppose already the student information available in database. Understand? Let's suppose the student information already available in database. Let's suppose in database there is a table called student. In the student table we have roll number column, name column, okay, address column, mobile number column, course column, blah blah blah. Like that we have. Understand? So now once we connect with database, we will fetch that record, right?
Yeah.
We will fetch that record or not? No, we have what? That record. Java application will communicate with the database, and after that it will perform one select operation. Once you perform select operation, you will get what? That particular record. Understand? The particular record we have. So now we have to set that data to whom? Object. Because in Java means what? Everything we are going to dealing with what? Object only. So which record it is? Student record. Now what I need to do if in order to utilize that record, for my business functionality, means what I have to do now? I have to create object, okay, of that student class by using that data. Understand? Now I will take roll number 101. In that record, what is the roll number? 101. So I am assigning that 101 to whom? Roll number variable by creating object of that student class. Understand, guys? Here, student 101, name Vignesh, like that. Where I will get the data from the database. I'm getting the data from the database and I'm using that data while creating object of the student class. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, okay, guys. So like that, you can use constructors, guys, here. Okay. Now, if you see here, let's suppose 500 objects I created. Okay. See how many times this constructor will execute, guys?
500 times.
How many times this constructor will execute? Huh?
500 times.
500 times this constructor will execute, guys. Okay, for each and every object, okay, creation, this constructor will be executing. Who will call this constructor? JVM. Understand? So what is the use of constructor? You understand now? So here, by using constructor, what is the purpose of constructor, guys? What is the main objective of constructor here? The main objective of constructor is initialization of an object. Okay, the main objective of constructor is to perform what, guys? Initialization of an object. Understand or not?
Yeah.
What is the main objective of constructor here? The main objective of constructor is to perform initialization of an object. The main objective of constructor is to perform initialization of an object. Okay, initialization of an object. Right, initialization means what? I think already we discussed, right? We need to set the dynamic values to number variables, guys. Object level variables, object variables. Instance variable is nothing but what? Object variable. We are initializing the object, real object. We are creating the real object, right? So the main objective of constructor is to perform what, guys? Initialization of an object. Okay. Here, most of the people are saying, okay, what is the purpose of object? Constructor means to create the object, guys. Okay, that is blunder mistake. Okay. So by using new operator, JVM will create object, guys. After creating an object, by using constructor on top of that object, constructor will perform what, guys? Initialization. That's what we have to tell if anyone asks. Okay. So now we can close now. Okay, guys. Even I am also not feeling well. Okay. So tomorrow, not tomorrow, we don't have class for tomorrow, right? Sunday we don't have classes. So from Monday onwards, we will see other things on constructor. Okay, we have a lot of things, guys, constructor. Just we see as of now, what is constructor? What is the purpose of constructor? By using constructor, how can we solve the problem? What we faced so far? Clear, everyone?
Yeah,
Any
clear.
questions?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Okay, okay. So Monday we will see, guys. Okay, let me stop the recording.